Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Well, Happy New Year 2024. I guess I get to add one more New Year's resolution. And this one, I almost lost my SD card today and almost gave me a heart attack because there were a lot of important things in there. The last solar eclipse, a bunch of good photos of my art that were painstaking to take, and among other things. And what had happened was I had gone to the campus, the computer lab, to make sure my course was in order, make sure the students could see that. And while I was there, I decided to upload a few things from my SD card, and I often forget my SD card. Sometimes the most upsetting situation is I'm ready to take a photo, and I turn on the camera. Oh, no SD card. It's in my computer, might be in my car, and then I got to go all the way back to my car. Some of the things I like to take photos of don't stay around for a while, right? A good cloud formation, or something interesting going on, right? And I do that a lot. And you would think going to a computer lab and uploading something would preclude that, but a lot of times, actually, it's the most important things I often forget, because I try to pound in my head, don't forget whatever, and then I forget it. So for example, one classical example is if I go to a restaurant and I'm sitting at a table, but the nearest outlet is all the way across the room, and I want to charge my phone, or maybe I have an important phone call later tonight, or I cannot trust myself to do that. Every time I have done that, without fail, drama happens. A better idea is maybe sit near my phone for 5 minutes while it charges, come back to my table. At least I get a little bit of juice to make that phone call later tonight, right? That's usually a lot less forgettable. The other thing I sometimes do, and I kind of embarrassed myself one time doing this, is I'll put the phone across the room, but I'll write on my hand, or maybe write on a piece of paper near the table, don't forget your phone. I was going through TSA one time, and they wanted me to put my phone separately for some reason. I can't remember if there weren't enough trays or something. And as the TSA, because I usually opt out of the body scanner, the TSA guy was patting me down, I kept reciting to myself, don't forget the phone, don't forget the phone, don't forget the phone. And the TSA agent was like, don't worry about it, I'm going to remind you. Even then, I didn't trust him, so I still whispered, don't forget phone, don't forget phone. And he finished patting me down and reminded me. But it's a lot better to embarrass myself for 5 minutes than to arrive in a foreign country with no phone, right? So that's the most tragic situations are where parents leave their kids in the car and go to work. After my experiences with the SD cards, with the phone, even the TSA agent was very understanding of why I needed to do that. I can kind of see why this would happen. Another example of forgetting things is that I often it's not so bad in the wintertime, but I eat a lot of baking chocolate, and I often forget it in my car, or I accidentally put another place where this could be trouble. I accidentally put it near the hot fan of my computer, and it makes a huge mess, right? Or I pack my computer into the backpack, I forget to turn it off even, which is not a good idea because it could overheat, and my chocolate's in there as well. Now when I get my computer, it's covered in chocolate. And so actually, I had totaled a Honda Accord a few years ago, and when the insurance adjuster was evaluating the Honda, he thought that I had some kind of a pet that had pooped all over the place, and I told him it was chocolate. Actually, that was a good thing, because he didn't pay too much attention to how bad the condition of the car was, because he thought it was animal poop. He probably just wanted to quickly get rid of that car, right? So it wasn't the end of the world. But it really highlights we need to have multiple safeguards to prevent this from happening, right? So for example, writing on your hand, reciting, don't forget the phone. Even though it might sound silly, now you need quite a few things to fail in order for the phone to get lost, right? Or similarly for the forgotten child in the car. You know, it drives me nuts. Aside from the parents being to blame, I also blame everybody else that's working in that office, right? You got a child in the car. How can you, I usually park my car at the very back of Phoenix College because I don't want to waste gas circling Phoenix College, and also I need the exercise. And so on my way in, I can't believe I would miss there being a child in the car. right? Because you got to watch for traffic, you got to watch for cars backing up. It forces you to look at the cars at least, right? I don't know what people are doing. They're probably on their phones or something. And that's why we have a lot of parking lot accidents with pedestrians as well, right? You can kill two birds with one stone, right? Pay attention as you're walking across the parking lot, and you might stop somebody from a major tragedy, right? All right, so this new year, I'm going to think about ways to make my life a little bit more fail-safe by having more checks and balances in my life. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum.